This is Beaverson Woodworking with Jesse Beaverson, showing you how to build a red elm basket or plate, if you will, out of stumps that can be found in the woods all around us.
You can make any funny name for it. Essentially, it's a gift idea for somebody, and they might not ever use it for anything, but just sit somewhere and look nice. You call it a cheese platter, a bowl, a plate, an ashtray, whatever. The idea is just to make something that looks nice and is not repeatable. And so the first thing you do is find some wood, and like paying for wood is for chumps. So, I mean, for like my best stash right now is a job. You know, I'm a carpenter. I was working in a warehouse in Hudson, and still do, and they cleared probably 5 acres 40 years ago to make the room for the lot. And so this pile of logs that they cleared 40 years ago, which includes a lot of elm, which is no longer really present because of red elm disease, I got a shitload of it. And so they're all 10-foot lengths, and so every time I work at this warehouse, I bring my chainsaw and bring home some logs.
What have you built out of it so far?
Not too much because it's still drying, but if you bring the camera over here, I mean, I can show you. All that over there is stuff that is currently drying from that pull. And so the flat boards on top, I've already milled with the bandsaw and thickness plane. And then I got a bunch of blanks lower. You can't keep the camera right there. I'll show you a close-up.
Here we go.
And so you just got to be crafty. You got to be dirty. And like, I just found this in the woods, outside, rotted as shit.
And you can use a chainsaw to make those cuts too with a ladder if you don't have the proper.
But if you've got logs that are already chopped down, you have a extremely high chance that there's a nail inside of it. Because when riggers take down trees and clear lots, all the time they'll leave metal brackets and nails to help them drag the wood. So don't ever even think about not wearing some sort of protection. I've cut a bunch of nails. Your chainsaw blade's immediately ruined. I have a small chainsaw, so it's not too powerful. You can't get into too much trouble. Your blade's destroyed instantly. It's bound to happen. You'll get gravel. I've found rocks inside wood because it just grew around it. So you're gonna be careful with the chainsaw. Smoke a few blades, but either way,
he's got all his fingers.
Good.
He's got all his fingers.
So far, so good. But you know, just look for what's good. And if it's rotted, that might mean it's really better. So look for the rot and see how far the rot penetrates into the wood. And if it's only the sapwood, the exterior ring, usually the inside will have some really nice spalting, and it's just going to look like amazing. And so the spalting is this black line here. So there's hundreds of types of fungus out there. And so fungus, you know, turns this into detritus, and it rots the wood and eats it. Circle of life, all that shit.
What are your favorite woods?
My favorite woods
to gather?
I don't know, but let me just finish this. Let me get it off my chest. The spalting. So we got one type of fungus attacking the wood here, and we got a different type of fungus attacking the wood here. And this is like the war for Middle Earth, the front line of battle.
It's like Dune.
Exactly. So when two different types of fungus end up intersecting and hitting each other, trying to eat the same wood, not often actually, somewhat rare, you'll have this little battle line, and that black line spalting is two different funguses meeting at that plane and basically stopping and just forming some beautiful ass shit. And so this is just like that out there. I just find logs I like, I grab them, and I let them sit until they're maybe under 10% moisture, make some cool shit. But you got to be gritty. You're going to be, you know, you're going to be cutting grubs in half with a wire wheel when you're getting these things ready.
One thing I noticed, a lot of the people that show you how to build this stuff, they have pre-made boards that they have not milled themselves or found in the woods. And it doesn't have quite the same designs, and
no, it's
a unique thing you do, and
it's all fine and good to buy the lumber. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm trying to, you know, I'm not rich, and if you know, I spend all my money on tools,
and it looks better. The wood just
because it's not repeatable. So if you want to make something that's one of a kind, it's the only way you're going to do this. Boards that you buy at the store are by intention all as similar as possible. Because they're grown at a lumber farm, they're kiln dried at a specific temperature, specific time, and so they all are predictable, stable, straight boards that you can build with. So you're not going to get as much diversity in what they look like. But if you just start finding logs and cutting them up, I mean, you'll get things that you have no fucking idea what's going to be in there. Like this little piece of bark, you know.
Red elm? Is it?
I think it's red elm. It's really hard to tell. I mean, here's another chunk of it. So some of it looks like this out of the same wood, and then some of it looks like this. I mean, holy shit, look at that. And so I've been having a tough time diagnosing what it is exactly. And this is the same as that, and it could look completely different. But I know it's from the same log. It's just different portions of the log. Red elm's my best guess. Red elm is a tree you don't really have anymore because of the ash borer beetle or red elm disease. Another note, if you're getting logs from the woods, look for this. There's all kinds of beetles that eat wood. You do not want to bring an ash borer beetle into your home. Not the end of the world. They're everywhere. They're going to be in the entire U.S. eventually, no matter what anyway. But these huge holes are indicative of an ash borer beetle. A big ass beetle. It's got a little white spot on it. Google it. Big fucking beetle. It eats wood like a motherfucker. And if you don't have an exit hole, that means that beetle is still in there. So you might make a masterpiece, spend a month on a piece of furniture, but there's no exit hole where that beetle went in, and 2 years later, your prized, most beautiful piece of furniture you created, a fucking beetle's gonna all of a sudden pop out of it.
And we're scavenging down old wood, so we're not taking down any trees, we're not hurting the environment.
Yeah, we don't cut down trees.
We're taking what's already there and using it, which is the hot thing to do.
Looks better anyway.
Don't you want to tell someone, instead of them looking at a piece of china table that like is rickety and falls apart, oh look, I have this table made out of a stump that has a piece of glass on top that came from like the woods in my backyard.
It's a better story. It's like it's
bio-friendly
and locally sourced, environmentally friendly is sort of trending right now. And I mean, I don't really give a shit. I'm all for it. But this just so happens to be a very environmentally friendly way to do this because it's infinitely sustainable. Lumber is sustainable as well because it's they replenish the lumber farms. So
it's easy. It's too
easy. But at the same time, the logs already fallen down. I mean, we're probably depriving a few ants out of a couple meals, but other than that, it's if you cut down a live tree, it's going to be green. You can't use it for 3 years to build with it anyway.
Why don't we see many people doing this this log style on YouTube? Is it just something that really hasn't hit there yet, or is it too hard for the carpenters to take an easy road?
It's gritty, it's dirty. I mean, you got to just kind of bushwhack your way through the woods and some pretty dangerous chainsaw situations at times.
So it's pretty hardcore carpentry. It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, it's not particularly difficult to get the stock. It's very dirty, and when you're prepping these things, you're basically shredding your way through 3 inches of rot and bugs and fungus, which is not good to breathe. And like I said, there's nails in them all the time. And then you have to have the capacity to mill them. You need a really big ass bandsaw. So this thing,
You can get pre-milled pieces though sent to you from Mr. Beaverson's shop. If you'd like to assemble something together, we would just need the size specifications and the color of wood you want. And kits are available too that Jesse makes. He makes kits that you can assemble yourself, so you can kind of give it to the girl, say I built you something with pre-drilled holes.
You can take the credit. We don't need the credit.
Yep, we're not looking for the credit. We're just trying to help all you hipsters out there. Just make something nice. And
it's not super predictable. If you get rough dimensions, sometimes I don't even know what half the shit is. So if you're making things that are, especially on the lathe, and don't need to be super straight forever, some of these boards probably are going to be cupped as hell in a little while. And I usually wax the end grain when I'm drying them, which you should always do. Use wax or any old shit just to seal the end grain while it's drying, so you won't get any cracks going down it. But I mean, don't make an inquiry for wood that I've milled if you want a perfect cabinet carcass. Buy some plywood. This is for arts and crafts, essentially.
Well, what if a richer person wants to send us a piece of wood, like a special piece of wood to mill it? You could mill it, send it back, mill and build it, something. So if there's anybody out there that finds a nice stump in their yard, and maybe they want it for their mom, some nice table built, you can send that to us, and we can look at it and we can tell you what your options are and what kind of stuff we could build.
It kills me when people essentially throw away stumps, because the figuring and the patterns inside stumps can be some of the best looking things in the tree, because you have intersections of all the roots and things, so the grain is unpredictable. If you're doing work on the lathe, which is probably the best thing for something like that, it's a stump. Oh, wow.
Most people out there though aren't going to have lathes.
Cut into it and all of a sudden you say, wow. Well, if you don't have a lathe, go to Harbor Freight and get You see the green one behind the good one over there? Central Machinery lathe.
Is that for sale by any chance?
Maybe. I mean, it's nice to have a backup so I can sort of train people. This lathe, if you go when it's on sale, with accessories to get you started, minus the chisels, is like 150 bucks. It's Harbor Freight. Sometimes you get a lemon. But it is actually a fantastic unit to learn on, fantastic unit for the price. Buy that, beat the shit out of it, figure out what you do wrong, and just start turning. You'll be addicted, I guarantee it.
I have managed to make lots of nice presents for my mom and different members of my family, and I actually started taking classes through Beaverson Woodworking, and he runs classes and helps you build stuff, and you gain confidence. And I started out with a simple cup, moved my way up to mahogany cup holders, and now I'm doing a jewelry box that he's helping me with. That's going to be opening up.
And don't forget, Mike, you assisted on this one too.
When I came in here, I really did not know much, and
he helped me build. I can't give Mike full credit for this one, but you know,
I helped with it though.
Recent project.
And you know, he keeps telling me I'll be able to build these on my own in the next year or two. So if you're around the Massachusetts area and like to take a woodworking class, it's great for dates. It's a great place to bring a girl, or if you just want a custom piece built out of your own wood or out of wood we have here. Feel free to contact us, and also if there's anything you think we missed in this video or any other tidbits of information,
take that information, write it on a piece of paper, coil it, and stuff it into your ear hole.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm kidding. We welcome feedback.
And a friendly challenge to all those other carpenters out on YouTube. It's time to put away the boards from Ace Hardware, fellas. It's time to go dig some stumps up and
be creative.
You know, don't get outdone by the 28-year-old fellas. Yeah, I know some of you guys have been doing it a long time. You're gonna have to step your game up.
Blaze your own trail. Don't worry about the prima donna woodworkers who say, "Well, you didn't use your properly sharpened jack plane for like just fucking."
Because we hate those. We hate them.
Make some art. Make something.
Make some fucking art.
Finish it. Do another one. Don't agonize. Just get out there and just ruin 100 bowls before you make a good one. Just have fun. Bang them out.
Well, the first thing you ever gave me had holes set up in it already, and it was kind of pre-made, ready to go, but it really gave me that confidence boost.
Oh,
just kind of putting it together, and then you moved me on to the next one where I was drilling my own holes, and so...
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
I mean, none of this shit's rocket science. Once somebody shows you how to do it once, you usually... You know, you can remember that information.
Hi, I'm Bernadette from Old Navy
So carpenters, go and get your stumps, and let's start building, and let's see if you can catch up to Mr. Beaverson and his operations. Have a good day, YouTube.
If one of the 10 viewers who finds this video happens to be a carpenter, that is.
Oh, tip of the day, tip of the day. You gotta have a tip of the day at the end.
Tip of the day.
Beaverson woodworking tip of the day.
Don't spend $800 on a Tormek sharpener. Do this. Get a belt sander. Make a jig, a flat surface, 22.5 degrees for me because it's convenient, you know, half 45. Get a belt sander that'll lock on, you know, and so you have a button to make it stay on. Turn it upside down, take your fucking chisel. 1,000 grit belts, order it from Amazon. Sharp as shit, sharpest chisel on the job site. You'll impress people. Tormeks are awesome, but you don't have to spend 800 bucks. You already have a belt sander. Special order 1,000 grit belts for it. You'll be amazed.
Thank you for watching our video, and remember, we're all out here to help each other and make each other better carpenters.